Hello all, welcome back to the BioRocks channel. In this video today, I'm going to help you in solving the MCQs that were being asked during the many of the medical entrance examinations that were being conducted nationwide. And these examinations include the JIPMA, the AIMS, the BHU CETs, the Maharashtra CET, the CBSE PMTs, all these sort of the examinations, the medical entrance examinations. We will be throwing light on those questions. So by solving these questions and by attending this session, children, you will understand about what sort of questions were being framed in this particular topic. And remember that the more you solve such type of questions, what happens is the concept is going to be built more, and you need to understand that in order to solve these questions you need to have an overall knowledge of that particular topic. So by solving and going through this session, it is going to shortly help you in understanding the subject more, and it's going to help you in your forthcoming NEET preparations also. Okay, so without any delay, I'll be sharing my screen and starting up this particular session with you all. So these are the questions that I have chosen. Yeah, children. The first thing is, which of the following is a nitrogenous waste? What are the options given? The creatinine, creatine, guanine. Coming on to guanine, I think you all children have got like a hooray moment where you can see that guanine is something like a guanogelism, where we have listened about, where the spiders were excreting the guanine. Okay, and creatine is present in your muscle, which is broken down into a product called as creatinine, and we even feed this particular creatine through our diet, which is not absorbed into the body. And what happens is it is going to be thrown out through the urine. So creatine is excreted through urine, creatinine is excreted through the urine, guanine is excreted through the urine. So our answer for this is going to be, what is going to be the all of the above, because all of them children are going to belong to this particular category. Okay, these are going to belong to this particular category. So let me come choose the ink for you. So this is option for us, it's going to be the D option. Okay, now next coming on to another one, which is going to be the second question, children. Here it's going to be, urea in human urine is derived from the breakdown of, okay, which product he's asking. The first option he gave is glucose, amino acids is the second option, fats and uric acid. If you remember children, when I have introduced you with the what you call is modes of excretion in my one of my videos, I told you that the proteins are going to be catabolized into amino acids, and amino acids are going to be deaminated. That is, the amine group from the amino acids will be removed off in form of ammonia, and along with the carbon dioxide, ammonia enters into the urea cycle, right? So where did this particular thing come from is going to be from the catabolism of the amino acids. What was the process? Deamination of the amino acids. So your answer is lying where is going to be the option, which is going to be the B option. Okay, this is the option that you can see. Because how could you frame this is because the catabolism of the proteins is releasing amino acids, and the amino acids are going to be further catabolized, or amino acids can be used in the building of proteins, or amino acids can also be converted into another form of amino acids also. But amino acids are being what called catabolized, they're being deaminated children, they're being deaminated into what? Into ammonia. And that ammonia along with the carbon dioxide enters into the liver for the ornithine cycle, and it produces what? Urea. Okay. Now coming on to the third question, children, what is this? Urea is directly produced in the mammals. So he's asking about what? Urea is directly produced in mammals from where? Just now we saw that urea is produced by what? The catabolism of amino acids, which we call it as what? Deamination of amino acids. So where is this present? Let us see. Ammonia is released by oxidative deamination process. Okay. Oxidative deamination of purines, no. Breakdown of ornithine, no. Breakdown of arginine, no. But it is what? Ammonia released. Urea is directly produced in mammals from the ammonia. which is being released by the deamination of amino acids, right? So our option will be, what is going to be the option? This is A, because remember that our urea is going to be produced, how it's going to be produced when the amino acids are catabolized and the amine group from the amino acids is removed in the form of ammonia. Then we are going to see that the urea is going to be produced in the ornithine cycle. Now the next question, what sort of question is, a person, yeah, let us come to this. A person is undergoing prolonged fasting, his urine will be found to contain abnormal quantities of what? This was asked in the CBSE PMT. A question again. A person is undergoing prolonged fasting. His urine will be found to contain abnormal quantities of what? See, children, if someone is prolongedly fasting for many days, what happens? Already his loads of glucose gets reduced. What is the second option that the body is going to, the next option the body is going to shift for is going to be fats. When the fatty acids are being catabolized, or when the fatty acids are being oxidized in the mitochondria during the cellular respiration, what happens is ketone bodies will be produced. Ketone bodies will be produced. So as the person is prolongedly fasting, the body is trying to shift to use what? Oxidize what? Fatty acids. When the fatty acids are oxidized, what are produced? Ketones are produced. So as fats are going on in what you call is used up, oxidized, the ketones in the body are going to be increased more. So this will be the perfect option for our question. Understood? The fatty acids, because this he is doing what is going to be the prolonged fasting. Since he's doing a prolonged fasting, fats in the body are going to be used out. Okay, fats in the body are going to be used out, and now what happens is the ketones are going to be increased in the blood. Okay, now the next question, children, let us see this next question. What is this? Is in ornithine cycle. What is this ornithine cycle? Urea cycle. Which of the following waste are removed from the blood? This question was asked in the CBSE, PMT, AFMC, and Banaras Hindu University examinations also. In the ornithine cycle, which of the following waste are removed from the body? Tell me, children. We know that in the ornithine cycle, there are two things which are going to firstly participate. One is ammonia and carbon dioxide. Where did the ammonia come from? From the catabolism of amino acids by the deamination process. Along with that, what enters into it? Carbon dioxide. So see here, it has only carbon dioxide enter. Carbon dioxide and urea enters into the ornithine cycle. No, urea is the end product. Now come here, ammonia and urea. No, it is not ammonia and urea. Come to the third option, carbon dioxide and ammonia. Okay, these are the two waste products which are entering into the liver, and they are going to be participating in the ornithine cycle to get rid of what? To get rid of this particular CO2 and ammonia from the body. Ornithine cycle is carried out in the liver. So in ornithine cycle, which of the following wastes are removed? Carbon dioxide and ammonia are being removed. Okay, so this is going to be our option. Now the next question, children. If liver, yeah, just come to this. If liver from the body is removed, okay, then which component of the blood increases? This was asked in Haryana pre-medical test. Options C, the first thing he gave is ammonia, protein, urea, and uric acid. See, children, if liver is removed, okay, will there be an onset of ornithine cycle? No. What are the things that are entering into the liver for the ornithine cycle? Ammonia and carbon dioxide. If there is no liver, then ammonia is not being sent into the ornithine cycle in the liver, right? Because there is no liver for you. So which is going to be increased inside the body? Ammonia levels are going to be increased, but not the protein levels, right? If the proteins are catabolized during the urea, that is ornithine cycle, we produce urea. So protein catabolism will produce urea and uric acid. So we can't go for these options, not the protein. So the answer for this is going to be what? Is going to be your ammonia. Okay. Have you got the answer? if your liver is removed, there is no ornithine cycle getting carried out. Then what happens is ammonia can't enter. So the ammonia levels inside the body, there is a blood are going to be increased a lot. Okay. Now coming on to, let me just increase the thickness of my ink. Okay. The next one, children, let me come to the next question. Which of the following? So this is the one. Which of the following animal does not excrete nitrogen as urea? Okay, so he's asking about the one which is not actually excreting, that is what, which of the following animal does not excrete the nitrogen as a urea, children? What are elasmobranchs? First, cartilaginous fishes. Okay, and what are toads, what are frogs? These all are the ureotelic. These all are ureotelic. When you come to the tadpole, it is going to excrete what? Ammonia. Okay, that's what he's asking, that which of the following animal does not excrete, which are not ureotelic. These three are ureotelic. What are elasmobranchs? They are the cartilaginous fishes. Tadpole larva is the one which is going to actually excrete what? It is going to excrete your ammonia. So our option is going to be what? Is going to be the tadpole larva. Okay, now next come to another question, children. In man, the urea, yeah, just come here. In man, the urea is mainly produced in, see, it's been asked in the Delhi pre-medical test, Manipal, and Madhya Pradesh pre-medical test, and many of the other examinations that you can see here. So in man, where is the urea? In man, the urea is mainly produced in where? We know it because during the ornithine cycle, urea has been produced where? In the liver. So what will be the option for you is going to be, the option is going to be in the liver, but not in the kidneys, children. Okay, kidneys are expelling the urea. Okay, now next coming into the other question. In ureotelic animals, urea is formed by, it's been asked in the CBSE PMT. In ureotelic animals, urea is formed by which cycle? The cycle is ornithine cycle. That's what we were learning about and seeing in many of the questions now. So your option is going to be the ornithine cycle. Now coming on to the next one is going to be the, a man, yeah, let us come. A man takes large amount of protein. He is likely to excrete more amount of what? The easy question again for you. See, asked in many of the medical entrance examinations. So proteins are being catabolized into what I told you, urea and uric acid. So where is your option? C is your option, where you can see that it is going to be the urea as well as uric acid are the two things which are produced during what? The protein catabolism. So during the protein catabolism, we are going to see that urea and uric acid are produced. So if you take more amounts of the proteins, more amounts of the urea and the uric acid are being produced and you excrete more of them. Now next question, children, let us come to the next question. Deamination. Deamination is a process in which what is happening? Poisonous urea is removed from the blood and it occurs in kidney. Okay. Is it occurring in kidney, deamination? Okay. Think about it. Amino acid is absorbed from the digested food and it occurs in intestinal villi. No way connected to our question or no way related to our excretion process here. Amino acid combines with ammonia to form a protein. No, not at all. That is not deamination. In the first questions we have seen, what was deamination? Was removal of the amine group from the amino acids in form of ammonia. So where is it? See, it's going to be this one. The D option, amino acids are broken down to release carbon dioxide and ammonia. This is what deamination. Okay, so this is our deamination process, and an option is going to be this one, that is D. Okay, now I've come to the other question, children. The next question we have is the end product of ornithine cycle is what? It's been asked in AIMS and Maharashtra CET. It's what? It's easy for you all to answer now. It's going to be urea. Now next, Waste products of adenine and guanine metabolism are excreted by man as what? These are asked in these examinations. You all know I have introduced you in the modes of excretion that your nitrogen bases, the nitrogenous bases that we find when they are being metabolized, what is being produced? Uric acid is produced, right? So we are going to actually release uric acid during this procedure. So the waste products of adenine and guanine metabolism are excreted in man as uric acid. Okay. Now, children, let me come to this particular topic here. See, we know the ammonia. Okay, the deamination of amino acids releases urea. When the ammonia and carbon dioxide in the ornithine cycle will produce a urea, then what is this allantoin? You know, this is an excretory product produced by the metabolism of uric acid in embryos. Okay, in our mammalian embryos, allantoin is produced by the metabolism of the uric acid or catabolism of the uric acid. That is seen in what? It's an excretory product of your embryos. Okay, now the next one we are coming to is going to be the next question is kidneys are originally, इसका मीनिंग क्या है कि ये इनका origin कहाँ से है? इनका origin is sure shortly it's going to be the mesoderm. So an option for this is going to be they are mesodermal in origin, children. Okay. Now next, what is this? Endodermal नहीं, ectodermal नहीं, ये तो terms आपने सुना है. What is mesendodermal? ये आपका एम्ब्रियोस का ही जर्मिनल टिश्यू लेयर है जहां से आपका मीसोडर्म डेवलप होता है और एंडोडर्म डेवलप होता है. Okay, so it's a tissue layer from where the mesoderm and endoderm both arise is called as mesendodermal. Okay, but your kidneys are originally, that is, they are originating from where? Mesoderm. Next question, children. In man, the kidneys are, it's been asked in these medical entrance examinations. See, archinephros, pronephros, mesonephros, metanephros. ये मैं आपको लास्ट में एक्सप्लेन करूंगी. इस क्वेश्चन को स्किप करते हैं, लास्ट में देखते हैं 15th क्वेश्चन. ओके, नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू ह्यूमन किडनीज हैज व्हाट? सीलिएटेड नेफ्रॉन. क्या हमारे नेफ्रॉन में सीलिएटेड है? नो. क्या उसमें लूप ऑफ, नो लूप ऑफ हेनली? नो, वी हैव लूप ऑफ हेनली, राइट? इज इट mesonephric duct? I'll be explaining you with that, so this doesn't come under that. Glomeruli concentrated in the cortex, yeah, this is related, right? Ciliated nephron तो नहीं है, mesonephric तो नहीं है, मैं आपको explain करूंगी वो क्या होता है. Loop of Henle तो पक्का है हमारे पास. तो क्या है ऑप्शन हमारे लिए? Glomeruli, which is concentrated in the cortical area. So our option is B option. Okay, the next one is going to be, what is the next one is the 17th is, what is the characteristic metanephric kidney? What is a characteristic feature of metanephric kidney? बच्चों, मेटानेफ्रिक किडनी वो होता है जो एडवांस्ड है, जो हमारे बर्थ टाइम में डेवलप हुआ किडनी है. ओके, जो द किडनी दैट वी बेयर. ओके, so before our birth in the embryonic stages we are going to have mesonephric and pronephric kidneys. But here we are going to see that metanephric kidney is the developed kidney during our birth. Okay, so इसमें क्या है ऑप्शंस देखिए, उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर क्या है? हाइपोटोनिक यूरिन प्रोड्यूस करना है या एक्सेस सिक्रीशन ऑफ यूरिक एसिड करना है? नहीं. लूप ऑफ हेनली रहना है या हार्मोन प्रोडक्शन है? हमारे मेटानेफ्रिक किडनी का मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है लूप ऑफ हेनली रहना. लूप ऑफ हेनली रहने की वजह से क्या हो रहा है? वाटर रीएब्सॉर्प्शन होता है और यूरिन कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड बनता है. तो हमारा हाइपोटोनिक यूरिन तो नहीं है ना? हाइपोटोनिक यूरिन है. So the option is going to be loop of Henle. That is a characteristic feature of metanephric kidney. Next question, children. Kidneys resemble the contractile vacuoles of protozoans. Contractile vacuoles क्या करते हैं? Osmoregulation में काम करते हैं. तो यहाँ देखिए हमारा ऑप्शन क्या रहेगा बताइए? Glucose, urea, uric acid, salts, okay, expelling the excess water from the body. This is one of the options which is similar to that of the contractile vacuoles of your protozoans. Okay, next, children. Maximum absorption of water Maximum absorption of water in mammals occurs in where? It occurs where? In kidneys. So your simple answer is going to be the kidneys. Which of the following is not a function of kidneys? Regulation of blood pressure नहीं करता है, हमने ये seriously देखा है, डिटेल में देखा है. रिमूवल ऑफ यूरिया, हाँ ये तो है. रेगुलेशन ऑफ एसिडिटी ऑफ फ्लूइड्स, ये भी करता है, ये भी हमने देखा है. नेक्स्ट वाला क्या है? सिक्रीशन ऑफ एंटीबायोटिक्स. नो, आवर किडनीज डजंट डू एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ सिक्रीशन ऑफ एंटीबायोटिक्स. so ये है हमारा ऑप्शन. नेक्स्ट क्या है देखिए, द ग्लोमेरुलाई आर कन्फाइंड टू विच एरिया? ग्लोमेरुलाई कहां पर है? मैलफिजन कैप्सूल कहां पर है? कॉर्टिकल एरिया में. तो क्या मेडुला, कैलिसस, कॉर्टेक्स एंड रीनल कैप्सूल. तो आंसर क्या हुआ है हमारा? हुआ है कॉर्टिकल एरिया, वहां पर देखा जाता है हमारा ग्लोमेरुलाई. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखिए चिल्ड्रन. इन मैमेलियन किडनी हेनलीज लूप इज प्रेजेंट इन. हेनलीज लूप कहां पर है हमारा? It's present in the medullary area. If you remember, I was introducing you with the cortical as well as the juxtamedullary. There is a cortical as well as those what you call is medullary nephrons के बारे में बात कर रही थी. I have shown you those long loop of Henleys, right? So they were hanging inside where? Hanging inside the medulla area. Okay. The next question is, if excess water passes out from the tissue, if excess water passes out from the tissue without being restored by the kidneys, आपका kidneys restore नहीं कर रहे हैं, पानी पूरा आपका excrete हो रहा है, तो उस टाइम पे आपका सेल क्या हो सकता है? By the kidneys, what the cells would be not been affected? No, they will be affected. They will shrivel and die. Yeah, because they're losing water, so they have to shrivel, right? When they shrivel, what happens? They're going to actually die. So ultimately our option is going to be this one only. Okay, without any second thought. Okay, burst open nahi, yahan to water loss hai. Take water from the plasma. No, it is like answer is going to be, they are going to be completely shrivel as well as die. What is shrivel? Shrink ho jana. Okay, the next one is in nephrons there is complete absorption of, हमने ये देखा था. किसको वो पूरा का पूरा absorb कर लेता है बताइए? It's going to be what? It's going to be a, your option is going to be what? Your option is going to be glucose. Okay children, the option is going to be glucose. Okay, आपने देखा था कि ग्लूकोज आपका पूरा का पूरा it is going to get what? It is going to get what you call is absorb. Okay, so in nephrons there is complete absorption of glucose. All Bowman's capsule. The next question children देखिए यहाँ पर. All the Bowman's capsule of the kidney are found in Bowman's capsule और glomerulus malphizian capsule कहाँ रहेगा? Cortical area में रहेगा. So the answer is going to be what? Is going to be the cortical area. Okay. Now next come to another question. The proximal convoluted tubule, the PCT, has brush border, which is due to what? Which is due to what? It is going to be microvilli. ये वाला हमने देखा था. Next क्या है देखिए? Loop of Henle is meant for. Loop of Henle is meant for absorption of what children? Water, right? So your option is going to be water. Okay. The next is, if Henle's loop were absent from the mammalian nephron, which of the following is to be expected? देखिए, loop of Henle आपका water reabsorption में help करता है. जब loop of Henle ही नहीं है तो water reabsorption नहीं है, तो water पूरा कहाँ जा रहा है? Urine के through जाएगा. तो आपका urine कैसा रहेगा? Your urine will be completely diluted. So your option will be, urine will be more dilute. No need to go to another options also. It's such an easy question being asked. The next one is going to be the hormone secreted by kidney. This one I have taught you in one of the videos. What is it? It is none other than or EPO, which is being called as erythropoietin. Next question. The collecting tubules lead in ducts called, okay, collecting tubules किसमें collect हो जाते हैं? They are coming into which duct? The duct of Bellini. Okay, it's not the tertiary duct, nor Henle's loop, nor Bowman's duct. It is going to be what? Duct of the Bellini. So collecting duct कहाँ enter होता है? It is going to lead into the duct of Bellini. Plasma membrane Next question. Plasma membrane in its composition to the filtrate produced by glomerulus is except the presence of what? Cells नहीं रहेंगे और प्लाज्मा नहीं, that is proteins नहीं रहेंगे. ये दो चीजें एक्सेप्शन है. तो आंसर क्या दिया है देखिए यहाँ पर, ग्लूकोज नो, क्लोराइड नो, अमाइनो एसिड्स नो, इट इज प्रोटीन्स. तो प्लाज्मा में प्रोटीन्स है लेकिन फिल्ट्रेट में प्रोटीन्स नहीं है. सो आपका ऑप्शन बनता क्या है? इज डी इज योर ऑप्शन. Next question. The glomerular filtrate rate in a normal adult. I think blindfoldedly you can give the answer. It is going to be 125 ml per minute. Next children. The vessel leading the blood into Bowman's capsule. कौन आ रहा है Bowman's capsule के अंदर? Afferent की efferent? Afferent आ रहा है. So your option is going to be afferent arteriole. Okay. Next question क्या है देखिए यहाँ पर, reabsorption of useful substances back into blood from the filtrate occurs in where? Maximum reabsorption कहाँ हो रहा है? आपके proximal convoluted tubule में. ये है आपका ऑप्शन. लूप ऑफ हेनली में पानी जा रहा है, डीसीटी में क्या जा रहा है? कुछ आयॉन्स जा रहे हैं. कलेक्टिंग डक्ट में क्या है? आपके यूरिया का रिसाइकिल होता है, वाटर का रिसाइकिल होता है ना. तो आपका ऑप्शन क्या है? मैक्सिमम चीजें कहां पर रीएब्सॉर्ब हो रहे हैं? पीसीटी में हो रहे हैं. ओके, सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नाउ. Filtration pressure in human kidney. I think this is also one of the easiest things because we have solved this. It is plus 15 mm of mercuric pressure, right? Filtration pressure हमारा. Actually, it is not plus 15, but it is going to be 10, right? हमने calculate किया था इस चीज को 10 mm. So just to correct this particular thing, it's going to be plus 10 mm of Hg, mercuric pressure. Next, children, see the next one. It is going to be glomerular filtrate is deproteinized plasma. Yes, plasma से proteins नहीं आ रहे हैं. Proteinized plasma नहीं, proteins नहीं आ रहे हैं. Blood plasma नहीं, cells नहीं है, proteins नहीं है. Urine stored in the bladder बिल्कुल नहीं. तो glomerular filtrate कौन है? Deproteinized plasma है. ये है आपका option. Next, children. Glomerular hydrostatic pressure is present where? In the glomeruli. So he's giving you option. Tubules में है? नहीं. Bowman's capsule में है? नहीं. Glomerulus में है. So the option is going to be the glomerulus of the uriniferous tubule. Next question क्या है देखिए? What causes the liquid part of the blood to filter out from the glomerulus? So क्या चीज है जो आपके fluids को glomerulus से बाहर फेंक रहा है आपके Bowman's capsule के अंदर? What was that? Hydrostatic pressure है क्या यहाँ पर देखिए? So this will be your option, hydrostatic pressure. What is the next one? See, in the distal convoluted tubule of nephrons, what is happening? Sodium reabsorption requires energy. Secretion of potassium ions does not require energy. और क्या है options? Water reabsorption requires energy. Ammonia is secreted. Ammonia तो secrete नहीं हो रहा है. Water reabsorption requires energy? Not at all. Secretion of potassium ions require energy? Not at all. तो क्या है? Sodium का reabsorption में क्या लगता है? It's an active transport, right? So energy is required. So what is the option? Is your A option. Sodium reabsorption requires energy. Next देखिए, glucose and 80% of water. Glucose and 80% of water is absorbed in where? Where is it is absorbed? PCT, right? Your proximal convoluted tubule यहाँ पे होता है. Next question देखिए, which of the following substances are completely reabsorbed through the renal tubules? कौन सा है? आपका option है D, which is glucose. Already we have seen that. Next वाला देखिए, what for the ascending loop of Henle is permeable to? So ascending loop, descending loop किसके लिए? पानी के लिए था. Ascending loop किसके लिए था? सोडियम पोटेशियम पंप मैंने बताया था आपको. तो किसके लिए हो रहा है? Your option will be sodium ions. Obviously, the what you call is we have seen the counter current mechanism में पढ़ा था ये वाला चीज हम लोगों ने. Next देखिए, when a person is suffering from poor renal reabsorption, that is renal absorption, then which of the following will not help in maintaining the blood volume? So हमको blood volume maintain करना है बच्चों. अगर सोचिए हम लोग हमारा renal absorption जो है poor है तो क्या हुआ है? आपका जो है रीएब्जॉर्प्शन नहीं हो रहा है तो आपका दैट इज एब्जॉर्प्शन नहीं हो रहा है, पुअर रीनल एब्जॉर्प्शन है, एब्जॉर्प्शन नहीं हो रहा है तो आपके टिब्यूल्स के अंदर ज्यादा से ज्यादा वाटर, ज्यादा से ज्यादा चीजें, सॉल्ट्स विल बी एक्सक्रीटेड आउट, राइट? सो हियर द ऑप्शन इज हमको ब्लड वॉल्यूम, see when a person is suffering from the poor renal absorption, then which of the following will not help in maintaining the blood volume? So वो ऑप्शन देखिए, decreased glomerular filtrate, ये तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। डिक्रीज ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट रहेगा तो ऑलरेडी हमारा रीनल एब्जॉर्प्शन यहाँ पर कम है। वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द जीएफ हियर। इंक्रीज्ड एडीएच सिक्रीशन तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं, वैसोप्रेसिन के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे हम लोग। वी आर स्पीकिंग अबाउट द रीनल एब्जॉर्प्शन हैज फेल्ड, ओके? एंड व्हाट थिंग इज गोइंग टू हेल्प इन मेंटेनिंग, नॉट हेल्प, व्हिच इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प इन मेंटेनिंग द ब्लड वॉल्यूम? तो हम किसके बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा? नेफ्रॉन के स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में ही सोचना पड़ेगा, नॉट अबाउट द एडीएच सिक्रीशन। कम हियर, अगर आपका डिक्रीज्ड आर्टेरियल प्रेशर रहेगा तो क्या होगा बच्चों? जीएफ कम होगा ना, ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट कम होगा, यूरिन प्रोडक्शन कम होगा। तो हम लोग इसके बारे में नहीं सोच सकते, बिकॉज फॉलोइंग विल नॉट हेल्प इन मेंटेनिंग द ब्लड वॉल्यूम। तो कौन सा है? इंक्रीज्ड आर्टेरियल प्रेशर रहेगा तो ज्यादा जीएफ, ज्यादा जीएफ रहेगा तो ज्यादा यूरिन प्रोडक्शन, ओके? और यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? ज्यादा यूरिन प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है तो दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू मेंटेन द ब्लड वॉल्यूम, राइट? सो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी योर ऑप्शन इज गोइंग टू बी डी, इज गोइंग टू बी योर ऑप्शन। Next, children, come to the other question. Urine is acidic in nature as it contains. Urine is acidic in nature as it contains what? You know, the blindfolded answer is going to be sodium dihydrogen phosphate is the option. इसके वजह से ही आपका यूरिन एसिडिक बनता है, okay? Yellow color of the urine is due to, you all know it's going to be what? It's a urochrome. Urochrome कैसे प्रोड्यूस हुआ है चिल्ड्रन? इट इज गोइंग टू बी बिकॉज ऑफ द हीमोग्लोबिन, जो आपके पिगमेंट है उसके डिस्ट्रक्शन के दौरान जो प्रोड्यूस होता है। सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी यूरोक्रोम पिगमेंट मेकिंग येलो कलर ऑफ द यूरिन। Next, children, coming on to protein-rich diet brings about relatively no change in one of the following constituents of urine. प्रोटीन रिच डाइट लेंगे तो क्या ज्यादा रहेगा? यूरिया, यूरिक एसिड, कीटोन्स ज्यादा रहेंगे। देखिए, यूरिया, creatinine is regarding with the creatine in the muscle. No, uric acid again with the protein. But ammonia is no way is going to be connected. See, protein-rich diet brings about relatively no change in one of the following constituents. In urine में पूछ रहे हैं, so it is going to be what? Ammonia. Okay, it's going to be the option called as ammonia. If the pressure, next question, if the pressure receptors are removed from the bladder wall, what happens? देखिए, प्रेशर रिसेप्टर्स रहने के वजह से जब आपका ब्लैडर पूरा फिल आउट हो जाता है, they send signal to the brain, due to which now what happens is you are going to be allowed to be micturial, that is urinate कर देते हो after your brain is going to send the signals. But now the stretch receptors have failed now. So what is happening? There is a what you call is failure in the message conveying between the receptors to that of the brain, children. So now what happens is your bladder just goes on getting filled out, and it may overflow at one particular instant, but there will be no micturition. This is a answer that you have to go for. फिर से बता रही हूँ, आपके स्ट्रक्चर रिसेप्टर्स जब फेल होते हैं मैसेज कन्वे करने में आपके ब्रेन को, तभी आपका ब्रेन इज नॉट गोइंग टू सेंड अ सिग्नल फॉर द व्हाट वी कॉल इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज द रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल स्फिंक्टर्स और द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ द ब्लैडर। सो उस टाइम पे क्या होता है, इस द यूरिन प्रोडक्शन तो रहेगा एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी पास डाउन इनटू द ब्लैडर. But the only thing is going to happen, it may overflow. It may overflow, but there will be no micturition process. Okay. Now, the next one is the absorption of sodium and secretion of potassium by nephron is under the control of. किसके बताइए? It is going to be aldosterone. हमारे videos में हमने देखा है ये वाला. तो आपका aldosterone is directly connected with what? The sodium as well as a mineral reabsorption. Okay. Next वाला, यूरिनरी एक्सक्रीशन ऑफ सोडियम इज रेगुलेटेड बाय कौन? अभी बताया है, एल्डोस्टेरोन. एल्डोस्टेरोन कौन सिक्रीट करता है आपका? कौन है? एड्रिनल ग्लैंड का कॉर्टिकल एरिया. सो योर ऑप्शन विल बी व्हाट? इज गोइंग टू बी द एड्रिनल कॉर्टेक्स एरिया. नेक्स्ट देखिए, urine output is reduced by kiska, you know, it's going to be anti-diuretic hormone, which is going to actually regulate the volume of the urine that you are passing, right? So the answer is going to be what? Vasopressin. Okay, it is also one of the easy questions that he has asked. Next question देखिए, ADH, antidiuretic hormone, controls water permeability of what? Of the collecting duct, of the distal convoluted tubule, of the proximal convoluted tubule and collecting duct, or the Bowman's capsule. So ADH is going to actually control the water permeability of DCT and collecting duct, children. I need to make a just change here because the option given is wrong here. Because आपका vasopressin जो है DCT किसके ऊपर काम करता है? DCT के ऊपर और collecting duct के ऊपर काम करता है, not the PCT and the collecting duct. This is one of the corrections that you need to make in this question. ये मैंने अपने वीडियो में भी आपको पढ़ाया है. Okay. Next question देखिए, occurrence of excess urea in blood is called as what? Uremia, है ना? तो ये वाला भी हमने देखा था. This option is the correct answer. Okay. The next one, children, क्या है यहाँ पर is kidney stones or kidney crystals are the solid clusters made up of calcium oxalates and uric acid. Stone formation is because of that only. So your option is going to be D option. Okay. The next one, children, in nephritis, ये disease हमने देखा था. Glomerular nephritis मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था, जहां पर आपका proteins excrete होते हैं, आपका glomeruli is going to be inflamed. मैंने बताया था कि आपको mesangial cells जो है वो इफेक्ट हो जाते हैं, इन्फ्लेमेट हो जाते हैं. सो यू कैन सी दैट इन नेफ्राइटिस को हम लोग ब्राइट्स डिजीज भी बोलते हैं. ब्राइट्स डिजीज भी देखिए, प्रोटीन्स अपीयर इन यूरिन, यस होता है. ब्लड कम्स आउट थ्रू द यूरिन, यस. इन्फ्लेमेशन होता है किडनी का, हाँ होता है. ये सब चीजें होते हैं आपके नेफ्राइटिस में, ग्लोमेरुलर नेफ्राइटिस में. प्लीज आप एक्यूट और क्रॉनिक किडनी फेलियर डिटेल में देखिए, जहां मैंने पढ़ाया है ये सब सिम्टम्स के बारे में. Next question देखिए, the term hematuria is used to describe hematuria. Hema is nothing but what? The blood. Okay, so it's going to be blood in the urine is being called as a hematuria. Okay, next question देखिए, at menopause there is rise in the urinary excretion of. This question, see the question, very interesting. FSH क्या है? Follicle stimulating hormone है. What is LH? Luteinizing hormone है. What is STH? Somatotropin hormone है, जो हमारा growth hormone है. What is MSH? मेलानोसाइट स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन, जो हमारे मेलानिन प्रोडक्शन को स्टिमुलेट करवाता है हार्मोन. देखिए कौन सा ऑप्शन आएगा हमारा यहाँ पर? इस follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, so this is menopause के दौरान आपके urinary excretion में, यूरिन में ज्यादा से ज्यादा FSH is going to be excreted. Okay, this will be the option. So these are the different sort of questions that we could actually see, which were being posed in many of the what you call is medical entrance examinations. Okay, so children, what I'm planning is from now on, the moment I end up with one particular unit, we will see such sort of the previous year questions. We will see how to solve these questions. That is going to make it more comfortable for you, that how good have you built up the concept. Okay, so just mugging up is not very useful for you. It's just about the practice that you make. Each and every topic that you learn from these particular, all the units that are being covered up in the NEET have to be perfectly being revised well. And your revision is going to be successful only when you solve many of such type of questions. So this solving of these questions will actually expose you to the nature of what we call is the pattern of the questions and the way to solve these questions, what mechanisms that you need to involve. So it's like science is something where you relate one to the other. So from one topic to the other topic, you need to correlate it. It might be chemistry, it might be physics, it might be biology. So you need to actually build up the concepts. So please go to what you call is the option of learning it from your NCRTs. Please do even watch the videos that I made for the excretion osmoregulation, because purely and genuinely are made on the basis of the what you call is neat syllabi. Okay, they may be taking more time, but just have patience and just target over your aim and see that you're building up the concepts more. Okay, I hope children this is going to be helpful for you all. Please do try to comment in the comment section how you liked it, and what are the suggestions or what more you want me to do for. Okay, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and try to subscribe my channel and share this channel to many. Okay, thank you all children. Thank you very much.